This will be episode 120 for you guys today. Once my co-host joining, we'll go ahead and get today's episode started for you guys today. Comments already wild. Didn't even start yet. What up, Soto?
What's up, brother?
Glad to have you back on, man. I'll say that.
Yeah, I'm in the car right now. I'm with my girl, so I'm not doing it in the crib.
You're good. You're good. As long as we got you on, man. Glad to have you back on.
I might be on here like Snoop Dogg today. It's like that. At work today, I had some time, so I got some pretty good topics, and you might like it because we got the Cowboys involved. So,
Yeah.
but the Cowboys look good, so I will give them that.
Hold your horses, man. Go and talk about that. What up, Rob?
What's up?
What's up, Robert?
Hey, Soto. What's
Since
up, dude?
we're in here, we can go ahead and get started now because I feel like this is going to be a good episode. I feel it.
It's us three?
Yeah, just us three tonight. So let's go ahead and get it on.
All
All right. Hey, guys.
Robbie
Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. This is your host, Thomas Tyree from Onthehop podcast. Today, I'm joined by my two co-hosts, Rob Cerasuolo, and our long-lost co-host, Cameron Soto. Cameron Soto has not appeared on the podcast in quite some time, nearly 2 years, guys. So, I was glad to have Cameron back on the show. Cameron, you weren't forgotten about. It's all love on this podcast, so we're glad to have you back, especially for football seasons this year. So, I know you're going to be talking crazy here and there, talking about the Ravens.
Not just football, though. Postseason baseball, baby.
Oh, yeah, that's
It's back in Baltimore, yeah.
Yeah, right around the corner, too.
Not in New York, though.
I don't even hate that the Orioles.
It's
I'm
definitely
happy
good to
for
see
y'all,
in the
to be
city.
honest. Like,
It is. I actually work right across the street from Horseshoe Casino at Linda Plummer now, so it's yeah. I see
really,
a lot because it's right there by the Raiders Stadium and stuff. Dude, I see so much more stuff now.
bro, I work right there too at the Parker Metal Building. You know where that is? It's right there. I've seen you before. I think I seen you at the light by my building and I tried to wave to you. I don't think you saw me.
Definitely the sports in Baltimore right now is definitely lighting up the city. 2-0. The Orioles beat the Rays Sunday, so that was a good day in Maryland.
We're going to have to save our postseason conversations, even though me and Rob see the Yankees ain't in Baltimore. Orioles doing their thing. But, yeah, we'll acknowledge that real quick. But, yeah, let's get into it. We're going to be sharing our NFL power rankings, ranking our top 5 teams, 5 through 1. So who is your guys' top 5 teams in the first 2 weeks of the NFL season?
So it's a little tough. I mean, I feel like some of these teams, like the first games they played haven't been exactly tests, if you know what I mean. Like, they've been kind of relatively easy games. I'm gonna tell you right now, the 49ers are the best team in football right now, I think. They're just stacked everywhere. Like, I don't see them really losing any games this year. So I'm gonna start that off with number 1. But after that, it's, you could have a few teams in there. It can be mixed around, honestly. I'd probably say that, top 2 and 3. I don't know which order to put these two teams in, but it's going to be Dallas and Philly. I mean, like, they're both, I don't know. Like, the Eagles, like, I'd probably say the Eagles are below the Cowboys right now because they're not really clicking like I'm used to seeing. But they pulled it off against the Vikings, and
The
who did they play
Eagles?
week one?
The
I don't
Eagles
even
played
remember.
Patriots.
Patriots week one.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so they beat a good defense there, and the Vikings, of course, they have, Kirk Cousins actually played a good primetime game for once. So that was kind of cool to see, I guess. But that defense of Dallas, man, holy shit.
You're not lying,
That
bro. Them
oh,
fantasy points are racking up in one of my leagues.
holy shit. Like they made us look like a JV team. Like I'm not even gonna cap. Like we were looking like fools
Oh
out there.
yeah, I
But
was a Giants fan. I keep forgetting that. Week
Oh,
one.
what?
yeah, and I'd say number 4, I'd probably put the Dolphins. I'm probably going to put the Dolphins at number 4. I think, their offense is probably going to I think their offense is top 3 in the league. They have so many weapons in that offense, so much speed. Mostert actually looks better than I thought he would. He's kind of like
Yeah.
a dark horse in that offense. Um, not many people thought he would do too much because he's kind of old, but he's still got some left in the tank. It looks like. I mean, I like what I'm seeing from him. Obviously, Tyreek Hill is doing Tyreek Hill things. Tua, first game, threw for nearly 500 yards. I mean, sheesh. But damn, number 5 is a toss up, man. I don't know. I can't put the Chiefs there right now. I just can't. Their offense ain't really like that right now. So I'll put the Ravens in there. I'll put the Ravens at number 5. I mean, they look pretty good. I mean, the first half against Houston, they looked questionable. I'm not gonna lie. Lamar was kind of pissing me off, but you know, other than that, I mean, they've been playing pretty good football. I think that they're gonna go. They could go a long way. They definitely got a lot more weapons on the offense now. Obviously, the injuries on defense are concerning, but it seems like they haven't slowed them down yet. They just beat, the Cincinnati Bengals. Joe Burrow's looking like shit. So, um, you know, I pray for my fantasy team that has him, but we'll see. But yeah, I'd say that for right now, that's my top 5.
All right, let's get into my top 5. I had the Niners at number 1. And the reason I had the Niners at number 1 is you got to think. They got a rookie quarterback, and I know their offense is powerful. They have all these superstars there. But if you ask me, I have Kittle on my fantasy team, and he's not performing the best I thought he would. It's a behind-the-scenes star. You know what I'm saying? He's going to do the blocking. He's going to do the dirty work.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, Brock Purdy's undefeated as a rookie quarterback right now, and if you think about going back to last season when they lost to the Eagles, I mean, I would see a rematch in that game with a healthy Purdy. I would like to see who wins that and goes to the Super Bowl. Purdy gets hurt there. I mean, if he don't get hurt, that result could be different. He
Mm-hmm.
could have got a Super Bowl as a rookie right there. So I personally think that they haven't slowed down. They put their foot right back on the gas pedal, and I will give the Niners the number 1 spot. Number 2 spot, I got to give the Cowboys. Uh, what is it? 61 points, 60 points,
70.
or so, 70 points, and only have given up 10. Granted, they played the Jets without Aaron Rodgers. I wish that they had Aaron Rodgers that game. That would have been a phenomenal game to watch. I think the week 1 shutout. I mean, you could say week 1 you had flunks, but when you shut out a team that just signed their quarterback to a deal and supposed to be a playoff caliber team, I mean, and then you do the same thing basically next week. You give up 10 points, but you get 3 picks in the fourth quarter. Your defense never gave up. I believe that defense wins championships, and if Dak continues to not show any sign of turning the ball over, I mean, my man said I'm not throwing no more than 10 picks this year, and he came out hasn't thrown a pick yet. So, you'd be able to give him the criticism if he threw some picks, but he hasn't. So I will give Dak that. And he's finally playing like a system quarterback, and I think that if he continues to play that way, that they can definitely run away with that division. My number 3 team, I give it to the Dolphins right now. You got to think about Tua coming back from a concussion, all that stuff he's had dealt with on the off season. Comments about him not hitting the weight room, him getting chubby. I personally think that he joined the weight room to put weight on so he doesn't get hurt again. And if you ask me, I mean, he's doing just perfectly fine.
Oh my gosh, bro.
Yeah.
I see what I say. So, yeah, I mean, to light it up, shootout game in LA week 1. You know, you never know what a team's going to look like in week 1. They win that one, pull it out on the road. And then they play Belichick again. What did they played in New England, right?
Who was that you talking about?
The Dolphins played
in
New England, right?
Yeah, just played Sunday night in New England.
Never seen, you know, Belichick was going to pull some rabbit out the hat. Never seen a 3-man safety before. Dolphins beat the safety, win the game. You know what I'm saying? So I will give the Dolphins a 3 spot right there. Rob, you kind of convinced me to change this. I had the Ravens at 4 and the Eagles at 5, but I will put the Eagles at 4 now because they haven't lost, and based off of my thoughts about how the Patriots are ran, and like y'all said, Belichick with a great defense, knowing how to run a scheme and everything, to pull out the win week 1, not knowing what your team's going to look like. I mean, the Eagles lost a lot of starters in the offseason after losing the Super Bowl. So for them to come back, pull something off against Bill Belichick and company, and then to come back week 2 and win again, 2-0. I mean, DeAndre Swift looked real good week 1. Week 2, he showed a little bit of signs of slowing down. But, I mean, you know, every team's going to show a defense for something. So, and then, like I said, the Ravens were at 4, but I'll give them number 5 right now, 2-0 team. You got, yes, Odell's injured, but you have a new wide receiver company. You have Lamar, who I was listening to the radio today, and they were talking about how in one of the press conferences, they were what's his name? Mike McDonald, not Mike McDonald, the other dude, the offensive coordinator.
Oh, Todd Monken.
Todd Monken, yeah. They were saying how the first couple weeks of the season, you know, Lamar didn't play preseason. They're getting him used to throwing out of the pocket and all. And I don't know if you've noticed, but I've been watching the games. He's definitely thrown out of the pocket more than he has. So, I mean, if he continues to look good throwing outside in the pocket like that, the moment he gets out the pocket, the NFL knows what he can do there. It was risky putting them at 5 without Dobbins. You know, he got that injury, and like you said, plenty of injuries to our starters. But with the good news of Marcus Williams coming back and stuff, I would put the Ravens there at number 5. So, and who knows what else is happening with the North now. So,
Zay Flowers looks like the truth, man. I really liked him coming out of it. I wanted the Giants to draft him like really bad. Like, I knew he was good.
But Jalen Hyatt, and he's not looking too shabby at all either. So
yeah, I mean he's like they're kind of breaking him in still. Like, he had literally like 2 catches for like 90 yards. Like, he's got crazy speed. Like, that man is got the burners. Like, holy.
For sure. I also forgot to mention when I talked about the Cowboys that this man, Micah Parsons, is for sure Defensive Player of the Year. And we might just see, Tom, the first defender in years win the NFL MVP award. I would put him up there right now. I mean, TJ Watt has 4 sacks, he has 3. But if you ask me who disrupts the game more, I mean, Micah Parsons is doing crossovers and tearing up the center. So, I mean, he looks like Myles Garrett just having fun. So, that's one of them unpopular opinion bold takes right there.
I mean, it could happen. I think it would just have to take a lot. I think in order for him to win MVP, I think he would just have to go out and just break the sack record, which is pretty hard. Despite the fact that he's getting like the Aaron Donald treatment now and getting double teamed and stuff. But hey, that sounds good to me. If Parsons could not only win Defensive Player of the Year, but potentially MVP. But we'll have to see on that one. But yeah, before I start, I just want to say Zay Flowers looks good too. That was definitely a good draft pick. Definitely somebody you guys are developing as a number 1 early due to the fact that Odell's injury status has always been up in the air ever since he's been getting hurt in his New York Giants days and then so forth. But, yeah, Zay Flowers looks really good in that offense so far. But, all right, I'll go 5 to 1 to build some suspense to my list. All right, 5. I got the Baltimore Ravens, currently 2-0. They look good because, like you guys touched up on, that win against the Texans, they really didn't look so good. That's why I've said over the last several weeks that preseason matters. I think these guys all across the league got to get reps offensively. I know you don't want your star players out there during preseason, but I think it's best to have live competition instead of practicing against others. I don't really think joint practices really help in game situations where you have a play clock, a delay a game, false start penalties, things like that. So I think every team around the league's got to get back to that next preseason, having players back in the mix to get in the flow of the offense, get a rhythm going early before the regular season starts. But 5, I got the Ravens. Like I just said, they took care of business against the Bengals on the road on Sunday. Despite the fact that J.K. Dobbins tore his Achilles in week 1, the running game didn't miss a beat week 2 against the Bengals with Lamar Jackson, Gus Edwards, Justice Hill carrying the ball in that win against the Bengals. All 3 of those guys had double-digit carries. Lamar looks very comfortable in Todd Monken's new offense, I will say, Soto. He made a lot of great throws during the weekend against the Bengals. It's good to have his favorite target back in Mark Andrews on offense. So I'm really looking forward to see how that's going to play out for them in the next few weeks. But I got the Ravens at 5. Number 4 was a toss-up, but at 4, I got the Miami Dolphins. I really do think that even though it's only been 2 weeks of the NFL, I think Tua Tagovailoa has been the best quarterback throughout the first 2 weeks of the season. You look at his performance, 2 performances thus far. He has 715 passing yards, 4 passing touchdowns, has a third best QBR in the league right now at 79.0. And he's helping the Dolphins win games offensively. That duo of Tyreek Hill and Tua Tagovailoa has been fun to watch. So he's helping them right now win games. If you could determine an MVP off the first 2 weeks, I'll give it to Tua. So I got the Dolphins at 4.
I like
3, I got the Philadelphia Eagles. Like Rob said, now this team, we all know what this team is going to do when it matters most, but the offense looks good. Offensive line, I think they have the best offensive line in football. They ran the ball down the Vikings' throat Thursday night. DeAndre Swift was nasty out there Thursday night. I really think that was one of the best games he had as a pro thus far.
It was.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
A strong performance.
He was running freely. He looked like Ray Rice when he played for the Ravens, dude. I swear to God.
I had him on the bench.
Oh, you did bench him in our league.
Rob,
That's
I played
crazy.
you week 1, didn't I? Well, I played
I played
last week.
I played Kurt
Week 2.
I think I might play you this. No, I played Vince this week.
I played JD. JD put my ass this week. So
Yeah, I'm 2-0, guys, just to say.
But yeah, what I've seen the first 2 weeks, I like the connection that Jalen Hurts and Devontae Smith are continuing to develop. They had a strong connection last year, I should say. And it's carrying over to this season thus far. I like what's going on. But the point, what Rob said, the defense has looked shaky. I don't think they look like they're playing their best football yet. It is only 2 weeks. But the defense looks shaky. They lost a lot of starters on the defensive side during free agency. They got carved up by Mac Jones and Kirk Cousins the first 2 weeks of football, giving up a total of 756 offensive yards to the Patriots and the Vikings in the first 2 weeks of football. I think if they just fix their defensive issues and whatever happened Thursday night between Jalen Hurts and A.J. Brown, whether it's A.J. Brown complaining that he's not getting the ball in certain situations, if they can fix that, I think they can be fine. But they'll be a team to look out for when it matters most. 2. All right. 2. Hear me out. I got the 49ers at 2. They're firing on both sides of the ball. I'll give you that. They're firing on both sides of the ball. Running game is very effective. Christian McCaffrey looks spot on. He looks spectacular. Kyle Shanahan's offense in the first 2 weeks of the season. That offense is loaded with Christian McCaffrey, Deebo Samuel, Brandon Ayuk, George Kittle. Brock Purdy doesn't look bad, even though he just had Tommy John surgery. I don't know how the heck he's doing it, slinging that ball around.
I don't understand it. I really don't.
Yeah.
I thought he would be out for at least half the season.
Yeah, okay, so if you ask me, Tommy John surgery, and let's say January to be safe, it's not even October, and you have MLB pitchers that are missing a whole season for it.
Yeah.
This man is slinging 60-yard bombs. So
yeah,
I mean,
it's crazy. I remember during the summer, they really didn't have an update on him. I know that they were saying that he could potentially play week 1, but I didn't know if it was really going to happen. But yeah, they looked good. Defensively also, one of the best defenses in the league. Nick Bosa, really haven't heard much from him yet. It's still early, but I really haven't heard much of Nick Bosa, but they still got him there. Javon Hargrave, Fred Warner. They looked really good on both sides of the ball for the first 2 weeks of football. But
all right, Tom, bring it on us. Let's
hear I'm here. I'm gonna bring it on. I'm gonna bring that energy. One. If ain't nobody gonna say, I'm gonna say it for Cowboys Nation. The Dallas Cowboys are the best team in football right now. They've outscored their opponent 70-10 in the first 2 weeks of football. I don't care if they're playing against me, Soto, or Rob at the quarterback position. You outscore somebody 70-10, your first 2 opponents in the NFL. You have to get credited for it. The Giants are a good football team. They were just in the playoffs last year. Let's not forget it. The Jets beat Josh Allen and the Bills on Monday Night Football. Let's not forget about that also. So it's not like they didn't know how to win 6 days prior. And our defense is elite. I think right now you have to say we have the best defense in the league. 10 sacks already, 7 takeaways. And Dak balled out against the New York Jets. An elite defense that Josh Allen had problems with Monday night, 6 days prior to that game where Josh Allen turned over the ball 4 times. You look at what Dak Prescott did against that elite defense. He went 31 for 38 passing, 255 passing yards, 2 passing touchdowns, and a quarterback rating of 112.2. So, hey, I think they are the best team in the NFL, and you can only play who's on your schedule. Is it my fault that Aaron Rodgers' Achilles blew up in 4 plays Monday night? It's not my fault. So I think you just play who you play. But I have to say that the Cowboys are the best team in the NFL right now, despite off of what I saw the first 2 weeks of football.
Soto disappeared.
Yeah, I just realized that. He'll probably join back in. But yeah, the comments, y'all hating, man. If y'all done going to the Super Bowl, guess who the problem? I said it on last week's episode. I said that if the Cowboys are going to get the Super Bowl, or if they don't get the Super Bowl, the 2 people that's going to hold them back is Dak Prescott and Mike McCarthy. Because Dak Prescott is 2-4 in the playoffs. We know this. Mike McCarthy hasn't called plays in a long time. We know this. So the defense is there. The offensive weapons is there. We got the running backs. We got the receivers. We got anything you name on defense, we got. We're loaded up. So it's just going to come down to them 2 if we're going to win a Super Bowl this year, Dak or Mike McCarthy. If we don't go anywhere, then it's on them. Just like the last 2 years, we had the Super Bowl roster. Dak and Mike McCarthy held us back. That wild card game 2021, you do a quarterback draw with 14 seconds to go. You have no timeouts. And then last year, we had the game in the bag. We only lost by 1 touchdown. Dak had turnovers. It hurt us. It cost us the game. So it's the truth. It is the truth. Don't say the Cowboys are number 1 ever in your life. Y'all just like the Dolphins on paper. Y'all good regular season warriors.
Yeah,
what are you saying,
bro?
What are you saying? Regular season warriors. Who is his team? Who is his team?
Bro, they're all Ravens fans, Tom.
Oh my gosh, yo! All right, Soto, scratch you. But let me know when Lamar Jackson doesn't call out in the month of December. Then you can talk to me about your teams going on runs. And you can talk about what you do in the playoffs. Because if I'm not mistaken, Lamar has less playoff wins than Dak Prescott right now. Have it, Soto. I ain't talking to you. But
There's no way you can talk about Lamar.
Hey, I ain't I ain't talking about you. I had to just say that. I just had to get out of the way.
The reason I'm not saying nothing about Dak yet is because he's not throwing any picks. I'm telling you, the moment that pick comes, I hope he adds up 3 right after that because the 10 comes quick. Let me tell you.
I know. Hey, he missed 5 games last year. I said that. He missed 5 games last year and had 15 interceptions. Now, all of them really weren't on him. There was a lot of drop balls that just led into picks, but you can't have that on your resume. It don't show in the record book. I dropped it and had a pick. So I'll take the slander.
I don't want to hear that.
Hey,
nah, because people were I mean, I understand Daniel Jones ain't on Dak's level, but when he had all them picks and Evan Ingram was over here playing dick hands, you know, I was hearing a whole lot of shit. Oh, he turns over the ball, this and that. Yes, he did turn over the ball a lot. Well, he fumbled a shit ton. I'll give you that. He sucked with, you know, keeping the ball in damn hands. But whatever, it's on the stat sheet. And, like, to have the most in the league on a short season like he did, that was just, like, unacceptable. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I'll give you that though, Tom. He's playing a lot better this year. Like, even though, like, especially the first game, like, defense, he didn't really have much field to work with since the defense was literally giving you the ball on, like, our 30-yard line, like, every drive. He was throwing some good balls. Like, even like, I saw some drops in the end during that game.
These comments are wild right now.
I know.
I like it. It's wild, but I like it.
Hey, nah, I do like Lamar. I do. He's been playing pretty well. I mean, besides that first half against the Texans, he looked like he was kind of lost. But I think he's starting to cook a little bit, you know. And that's true, too. The NFC is literally like the JV this year of football. Like,
just, I think with the Ravens, with having Zay Flowers now, someone who could finally run route. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, you're tripping.
Someone who can finally run routes like Zay Flowers and actually spread the numbers. With Lamar staying in the pocket more and having Mark Andrews as a safe, whatever you call it,
a safety
window, a safety window,
blanket.
Security blanket, whatever you want to call it. You know what I'm saying? That just gives Lamar the idea that he can throw the ball now, you know? And then you have Odell, which, granted, he's not the same Odell, but he still has that reputation. You know what I'm saying? He can still go get it. And if you want me to be honest, Aguilar didn't look too shabby the other day either. Caught a touchdown pass, you know, on third down. I'll take it. Good ball by Lamar, too. Put it where the defender couldn't get it.
He's always been solid. Like, he's never somebody you want to rely on, but, like, you know, he's a good, like, number.
You can put him on the field and he'll produce.
Yeah, he's good, like, number 3 option to have, like, behind Odell and Zay Flowers for sure. But, you know, he definitely fits in that offense.
One last thing before the next topic. CeeDee Lamb. Why didn't Sauce Gardner guard him one-on-one, Tom?
Hey, I was asking myself the same thing.
My man
Apparently,
had,
I mean,
13 catches, 11 catches, something like that.
11 catches for over 140 yards. I was saying the same thing. As much as I watched Sauce Gardner thus far, I really did not know that he doesn't travel with number ones. He just stays on one side. I didn't even know that myself until Sunday's game.
But that's trusting the other the other defenders you have as well.
What's that?
That's trusting the other defender you have as well on the other side of the field.
Yeah, DJ Reed's good, but he was getting cooked on Sunday.
Yeah, for sure.
He's getting cooked. He was getting cooked. And I think after that game, how the players reacted, because Breece Hall only 4 touches is insane.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
bro.
That's insane.
Hey, I felt the same for Cam Akers in week 1, man, but I had I had Williams on the bench. I picked the backup just in case Cam Akers got hurt. So
I got him in our league now.
Yeah,
put him to good use now.
Let me get him.
Yeah, you can have him. I got Kyron Williams.
No, I need him. Damian Pierce ain't doing well.
One of you guys took Puka.
I'll give you like
Puka
2
or whatever. He's a dog.
I will give
He's nice, yeah.
3 players for Kyron Williams.
You're not getting him.
God, I will.
He will score 2 touchdowns probably every game.
He's good. Well, they're getting Cooper Kupp back soon, but I still think he's going to produce. If he's already producing like this as the number 1, I think he's still going to produce even when Cooper Kupp gets back in line.
Yeah, they don't have another backup running back that's like at least near that level right now, from my understanding.
No, yeah, they don't.
He's the bell
I
cow.
just was so mind blown how quick and easy it happened that Cam Akers was out of the backup. Like,
No,
I picked Cam Akers up. Sean McVay said at the start of the season he was supposed to be the workload, and then you draft him in fantasy round 2, 3, whatever you get a solid running back, and
nope. I knew it was going to stayed away from him in every league. I did not even entertain Cam Akers whatsoever because of that. I knew that something was going to happen, and look, now it's like
I was just.
Who is CHPD? I don't think I know who that is. Do you guys know him?
That's
Who's it?
That's Diamante.
Oh yeah. Oh, I thought he meant.
Oh snap! From Northeast, I haven't talked to
Yeah,
you in a
that's
minute, brother. What's
Diamante.
up,
Yeah.
man? I haven't seen you, bro. How you been?
Comment. We got a little war in the comments. Maybe
I
we
know they're going at it. That's why I didn't know who it was. I couldn't see the. I think I clicked profile, and that's what kicked me out of the last live.
They're
So.
talking
But
about Colorado. Honestly, I mean, I would put the house on the Colorado spread. I'm not gonna lie.
so with all right, I'm glad we brought that up. We can have another quick topic. I believe that. Okay, so you go Colorado State versus Colorado. That's a big game. You know, there's a lot of tension there. Big plays are going to be made. You know, you got a 19 versus 10 matchup in the top 25 at Oregon. Everybody's doubting Colorado again. You know, they didn't doubt Colorado last week, and I think that's why Colorado almost got upset. I think doubting Colorado at 21 points, like you just said, that's a lock pick, Rob.
Yeah.
No way they lose by 21 points. I mean, I guess they might lose. I'll give them a loss right there. I will give them a loss.
Yeah.
But I don't see 21 points.
No. It's going to be
cool. Deion's changing the game in college football right now for the better, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they win that game, though. I think Oregon wins that game because the injury to Travis Hunter not being there. This is, I mean, win or lose, I just want to see how they compete. I mean, TCU, you got to give them credit for beating TCU. They were in the national championship last year. That was a big win week 1. So now you're playing the best competition that you've seen thus far, and you don't really have your best player. I know Shedeur Sanders is special, but Travis Hunter is the best player of that team. And you're missing him against the team that you need to beat. But I think this is going to be a beginning of a special rivalry in the Pac-12 between them and Oregon. I can't wait until Caleb Williams and Shedeur Sanders match up when they play USC in a few weeks. That's going to be a good game too. But yeah, I think Oregon's just too physical of a football team right now. They have
Nix is still with Oregon, right?
Huh?
Bo Nix
yeah,
is still with Oregon.
They got Bo Nix.
Yeah,
I think that's good. That's gonna be a good matchup, quarterback matchup between Bo Nix and Shedeur Sanders. But yeah, I can't see them pulling this out this time.
My word, you're hearing it now. You might see me again in 2 more years on the hot. Just to let y'all know. But Deion's gonna be in the SEC soon.
For what? The SEC really ain't really hot right now.
No, that's what I'm saying. Deion's changing the game of football. Why not bring it to the SEC?
But the SEC,
it ain't right now. Not right now. You know what I'm saying? He's got to get that rep up still. I mean, you bring a one-win team to top 20. You know what I'm saying? That's already like that.
I think he might as well just stay where he's at because you look at the SEC. How many years really Nick Saban really gonna be? He's on. I think he's on his way out the door right now.
Yeah,
the way Alabama looking, I think he's on the way out. The only team, I mean, Ole Miss is in the mix, but they're not gonna be there when it matters most. The only team right now in the SEC that really matters is Georgia, and I think Alabama right now they're ranked 13th in the country. So I would just stay right where you are. I think the Pac-12 could be more interesting down the line.
I don't
you
like the committee. I never have. You can't put Alabama, who doesn't even have a quarterback, in the top 15 right now.
Oh, I thought you said it ain't their fault. Oh, okay.
No. I'm saying the committee. I don't like how the committee works sometimes. Like me personally, last year, Florida State could have been in that Final Four, and you know what I'm saying. So.
Yeah. To that boxing comment, I can't speak on that yet. It ain't fight week yet, but y'all can check the prediction. That is a big fight. I can't speak on that yet.
Tom's a boxing guy. We got another one here. I forgot about that.
Yeah,
I put all money on Canelo. I got Mexicans in my blood, and that's one of my favorite fighters right there. So I'll make that comment.
He one of the greatest to do it, but I can't speak. I have to say my fight prediction, but yeah, that is a big fight in a few weeks. All right, so we'll move on to the next segment. Which team are you guys concerned about after 2 weeks of the NFL season thus far?
Shoot, I got a few, man. I got a few teams. One that sticks out to me is obviously the Bengals. You know, I know I hear this shit every 5 minutes, every day, oh, they started 0-2 last year. Oh, they went on to go to the AFC Championship. Well, it's a little different this year. Joe Burrow's dealing with an injury. He might not even play for the next couple of weeks, turns out. So if that happens, they could fall in a hole pretty quick. And in a division like that, every other team is at least talented enough to make the wild card, I think. Like the Steelers with their defense alone, I don't think Kenny Pickett's that guy. I truly don't. But they can put up a fight. The Browns, obviously, they got a good squad. As long as Watson can hold it together. I think they're, obviously Nick Chubb's super unfortunate injury. That really sucks for them. But that's a good division. And obviously the Ravens, I think they'll end up coming out on top this year. And this Burrow injury is going to be a big factor in that. So I'm very concerned with them. Another obvious one. Well, I could lump these two together because they're about to play next week. The Chargers and the Vikings, because they're both 0-2. The Chargers, with a defensive-minded head coach, have pretty much the worst defense in the NFL. They're getting toasted by every team. And it stems back from last year, right? When they were down 27-0. Props to whoever bet the money line for the Jags at the half, like I almost did. But, that's just inexcusable. Justin Herbert's balling out. He's throwing 65% completion percentage. He's probably averaging well over 300 yards a game. But he's just not it's not enough apparently with that trash defense. They're basically rolling out an 8th grade level defense out bad. And the Vikings, of course, they I thought they were suspect last year. They won all those close games. Those games could have went either way. Had they been on the opposite side of those, half of those games, they would have been under 500. So, they were obviously suspect. And if they lose against the Chargers this week, I could see them start. Look, this is going to be interesting, right? Because if they start losing games, let's say they go 0-3, 0-4.
I know what you're about to say.
I could see the Jets calling. For Kirk Cousins. Kirk would be good on that team. I'm not going to lie. That would be a really good pickup for them. So I would like to see that, honestly. And Kirk, like I said, he looked really good against the Eagles. That was probably his best primetime game that I've ever seen. Kirk is Jared Goff besides the Super. Yeah, that's true. But yeah, man, I mean, I could see Cousins going to unfold like I think they will. I think the Chargers beat them. I'm not going to lie. I think they do. Because, both of their defenses are pretty bad. The Vikings, they do look improved. I'll give you that on defense. They were holding the Eagles pretty well for most of that game besides the rushing defense. But those are a couple teams I'm concerned about for sure.
Comment section is rolling today. I'm kind of liking it.
I can't even keep up right now with these guys.
Hold on. I never ever said that Justin Herbert was better than Lamar. That's never came out of my mouth. But go ahead, Rob.
Yeah, those are a couple teams that come to mind. I guess I feel like the Chiefs are kind of in that conversation too. I know they beat the Jags. Their defense looked really good. But, losing at home to the Lions week 1, that was concerning. And only putting up 17 against the Jags, I don't know. I just don't think maybe their offense isn't what we thought it was going to be. Obviously you have the best quarterback by far in the whole league. But, his receiver room is just not good. It's just not. I don't know, man. It's either Travis or bust for them. So, those are a few teams for me, I would say.
Yeah, I'm listening to y'all. I had to grab my charger real quick. But, yeah, that Chiefs one, I definitely agree that it's Kelsey or bust in that offense right now, man.
Yeah.
I really feel like that. I even went back and looked at that game again. I really feel like if Travis Kelsey gets hurt again, that offense is in a world of trouble because you are depending on one main target, Kadarius Toney. I mean, he had a little bit better of a game, but with no Kelsey out there, he's vulnerable. Sky Moore as well. Had a decent game against the Jaguars. I think he had over 60 yards receiving for 3 catches. Still vulnerable if there's no Travis Kelsey out there. So I'm definitely on with you on that one, Rob. I'm very concerned about that thus far, despite the fact that they still are 1-1.
I'm on that bold take right there too with the Chiefs. Rob, you kind of took every team possible out of my list. So for like my underdog team that I didn't want to talk about, I really was specific on the Vikings because real quick on the Vikings, I just want to get this off my chest because I cannot stand it. Kirk is performing insane. Granted, all the fumbles for my fantasy team, but for an offense like that, your team's built for the offense. Obviously, adding Jordan Addison, yeah, you lost Dalvin Cook, but you lost Dalvin Cook having the confidence in Madison, and he hasn't proven anything for me. But to not have a lead at any half of any of your games, you know what I'm saying? You're never going to win a game. Obviously, you're playing from behind every third quarter. And if you want me to be honest, I don't see it changing this week against the Chargers. I think the Chargers beat the Vikings. I just think if you look at week 1, Jefferson had like 90 yards in the first half, and then he had like 12 in the second. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's against
Yeah.
the Lions, who just gave up, 30-some points to the Seahawks? So, but back to the Chiefs. All right, so 1-1, okay? You beat the Lions, like I just said. I mean, you lose to the Lions at home, right? Who just gave up 30-some points to the Seahawks at home, right? And then you go in week 2, and you only score 18 points against the Jaguars. I was expecting that game to be a shootout. I was pretty disappointed in the final score for that game. But if you ask me, think about this, right? Eric Bieniemy leaves Kansas City, goes to Washington. Sam Howell's the quarterback, and Washington is 2-0. Kansas City can't even put up points. They lose to the Lions. They can't outscore the Lions. And then you go into the Jaguars, and you only score 18 points. The Kansas City Chiefs only scored 18 points after losing a football game. Like, I
17.
got some worries about
17.
Kansas City. 17, even worse. You know? So, like, if you want me to be honest, that's a pretty bold take, but I am a little bit worried about the Chiefs. I'm not too slight worried because, like you said, the Chargers, I thought they would be atop that division with the Chiefs. You look at the Raiders, man. I mean, they're not playing too shabby of football in that division. They're 1-1, but are they 2-0? Are they 1-1?
I
I don't have a computer in front of me, so I don't really know.
think they're,
But
aren't they?
Who y'all talking
I
about?
definitely
The Raiders.
Raiders are 1-1. They got clapped against the Bills on Sunday.
I would definitely say though, as of right now, I think that division's up for grabs.
Whoa, the AFC West?
For right now, yes. The Chiefs can't find their foot in their offense right now. I think Eric Bieniemy leaving played the biggest part in that. You got the Commanders came back for both of their wins.
Yes, it's true.
You know what I'm saying? That just thing about Eric Bieniemy putting that confidence in Sam Howell. That's a great offensive mind. Okay, Eric Bieniemy was there when Alex Smith was there. He developed Alex Smith. He was there when Pat Mahomes was there. Developed Pat Mahomes. What is he doing with Sam Howell now? Developing Sam Howell. If you ask me, I'm a little worried about the Chiefs, and that goes to the coaching staff. I mean, Pat Mahomes is Pat Mahomes. You just reconstructed his deal, what was it, this morning or yesterday, to pay him more money.
Yeah.
And I don't know how that affects their cap space. I'm not the agent or whatever that. So, but if you ask me, Pat Mahomes deserves it. Props to him on that. Congratulations, brother. I hate him, but he's I grew up hating Brady. I'm a grow up hating Pat Mahomes. So, but yep, that's my team. I think I would say bold take. I'm worried about, and then obviously it's like I want to say I'm worried about the Bengals, but then you got to think like, what are the Bengals without Joe Burrow? Right? Nothing. Joe Burrow's not healthy right now. He hasn't been healthy at the start of the season. My thing is when you limp into a season, what does Shannon Sharp say? When you limp into a season, you limp out. You know,
Yeah.
so like you never see a football player go into a season healthy and make it out. I mean, go into a season not healthy and make it out fully healthy. It's a football sport. You get hit hard. It's the NFL. So, I mean, I would say I'm slightly worried about the Bengals, but if you put a healthy Joe Burrow back there, it's a whole nother team. You know what I'm saying? So if Joe Burrow gets healthy, they could go on a stretch where they win 10 games in a row and they're in the playoffs, you know? Somebody mentioned, I think Alex mentioned in the comments, the Steelers are going to be in the playoffs. You go 3-0 in the preseason with your starters playing, and then you start off 0-2 or 1-1 that you should have lost that game. -4 yards of offense in the fourth quarter, and you win. Your defense ain't going to do that every time. I mean, you see what the Niners did to them. So, that's my two. It's my two teams. I think I should say I wanted to go with big teams. I was worried about the Vikings were definitely on the list. Chargers too. I would real quick. I wanted to add the Patriots to that because I can't add the Jets with Zach Wilson playing. But I thought the Pats. I thought Mac Jones would have somewhat kind of figured it out, but 0-2, he ain't showing me nothing, brother. I wanted to have some faith in him. I never liked him, but I wanted to have some faith in him with Bill Belichick over his wing, but that didn't happen.
Man, y'all are rolling, man. Y'all are rolling. Soto, you have a lot of things I want to talk about. I want to say that the Chiefs, you are spot on about Eric Bieniemy. A lot of people, even though he wasn't the play caller, talk bad about him. Sam Howell looks like a different quarterback right now. He looks pretty good first 2 weeks. There is some truth to that Chiefs offense. They've only scored 38 points throughout the first two games, and they had 37 points, in the first two games. And they have a two-time Super Bowl champion, a two-time MVP in Patrick Mahomes. I just said they look like Kelsey or bust right now. That's concerning. I really do think that the Patriots are actually a better team than what they are. I do think that Mac Jones is the problem. Because you look at that defense, they got playmakers all around the ball, really led by Matthew Judon as their main pass rusher. They got some people up there in their secondary too. Christian Gonzalez, what they call him, Jack back there, number 25. I think his nickname is Jack. They got him last year, late round pick, but they do got some playmakers. It's just and they hung in there with the Eagles. Their first game, they lost that game 25-20. That 2-minute drive didn't get it done against the Eagles. Then they get another opportunity and a 2-minute drive against the Dolphins on Sunday night. They don't get it done either. So I think that team has talent, but Mac Jones is not the answer. I think they got to get Rob's boy Bailey Zappi in there pretty soon if they want their season to be saved. Hey, Rob called it. Yo. He said Bailey Zappi can ball. I didn't know what the heck he was talking about when he said it last year.
Bro, he can.
He hung in there with Aaron Rodgers last year.
Tom, can I ask you before we jump to the next segment?
My boy Zappi.
What happened to your boy, your backup for the Cowboys? Who was his name?
Who's he?
No, the quarterback.
Oh, the backup?
What's his name?
Rush?
Yeah, is he still there?
Yeah, he the second string. Trey Lance Trey Lance, he on the sidelines, but he not really suiting up.
So Trey Lance is third string now.
Why'd you?
Yeah, but he don't even suit up for games right now.
What was the point in Tom?
Yeah,
I guess
stupid.
they thought they saw what happened to the 49ers. Well, I ain't even going to say that. Bottom line, I think we got Trey Lance because Jerry Jones just wanted to be in the media. He wanted some media action because think about it. That whole week before we got him, the media was talking about how Trey Lance lost the second string job to Sam Darnold. He didn't look good all preseason long with read progressions. He didn't look at like a quarterback that should be how he's supposed to look, being a third overall pick in the 2021 draft. So then a few days later, after the news breaks that Sam Darnold won that spot, then the Cowboys, like 3-4 days later, Jerry Jones trades for Trey Lance. I think it was just a media stunt, for the Cowboys to be talked about even more. But I think that's the only reason why he's there. I don't care. If we could get rid of Dak, he is not. You can say Dak. I know Dak's time is ticking. But as far as I'm a Cowboys fan, there would be no Trey Lance as the franchise guy for America's team because that's a disaster waiting to happen. And he ain't better than Cooper Rush. And Cooper Rush is 5-1 as an NFL starter.
Anybody
And
got your computer in front of you real quick?
What'd you say?
Can one of you guys look up who's 0-2 right now in the NFL, please?
Oh, I know that I know we said the Patriots, the Chiefs. I mean, not the Chiefs, the Chargers, the Vikings. Oh, who else?
Name a team.
Who else?
Name teams that you didn't expect to be 0-2 right now, like the Chargers, the Vikings. The Bengals. Well, I can't put in there, but because Joe Burrow will get healthy. But which team do you think is going to tank for Caleb Williams?
Oh, me and Rob talked about that last week. It's the Cardinals, baby.
Oh my gosh!
Huh?
I don't know, bro. Because if you ask me, the Cardinals had to lead in both of those games.
Bro, they just put on a wait until week 7, week 8. They're gonna trade Buda Baker. He out of there.
I think that trade for Isaiah Simmons in the offseason was a bag of chips, bro. That was
a finesse.
That was insane. That guy is a freak athlete. Yes, I am off the boogie.
Nah, yeah, we really I was so pumped to get him for I wanted to draft him in the first round when he came out as a rookie, and to get him for a 6th round pick was just insane.
Yeah,
insane.
Freaking.
We just signed
rookies. Oh, yeah, that dude Brian Bijan.
Bijan Robinson.
Breed.
No,
he stays healthy. He stays healthy all year, dude.
We here, man.
Huh?
No, I'm talking about the comments. Hey, Cal, you gonna lose? I'm not sitting here saying they're gonna go 17-0. They're gonna lose games. They're gonna lose games down the season. It ain't gonna be a perfect season.
Who do you guys have coming up, Tom? In your next 3?
Next 3, we got the Cardinals, then the Patriots. Then it's time to put your big boy pants on. We play the 49ers. I think realistically, because I know they got the Giants tomorrow. We're gonna talk about that. They got the Giants. I don't know who they play week 4, but I really see it that we'll be 4-0 by the time that game comes, and they'll be 4-0.
I think that's a make or break for their season right there.
That
shows who you guys really are. Whoever wins that game shows which team is really like that.
I think. Well, I mean,
that's your 2 powerhouses in the NFC. I don't consider the Eagles a powerhouse right now. They're a great team, but not a powerhouse. Your 2 powerhouses in the NFC are those 2 teams, and I could see them 2 meeting in the NFC Championship.
I don't know.
I'm too.
What I do like about this though is both teams are healthy, and they're gonna if they stay healthy.
How am I? I tell the truth about the Cowboys. I tell the truth. We know what happens. We know what happens in the playoffs.
I'm saying, aren't you guys healthy right now?
Huh?
You guys are fully healthy, right?
I mean, we got some.
Not
for the main part we are. Huh?
Okay, so you go through about 90% of your team's healthy, and then you go to the Niners, probably about the same thing, and you guys play week 5. That's going to be great to see you guys play fully healthy week 5, and if you guys play again fully healthy in the playoffs, I want to see the adjustments that are made with Mike McCarthy. This is the season that Mike McCarthy proves if he's going to continue to be your coach or not. I think last season he was on the hot seat and all, but he proved that he's got it right now. But you guys are going to have a postseason spot. It's what he decides to do with it.
Yeah.
His play calling clutch is atrocious, though, bro. You can't lie.
It's what
for you guys? It's him.
What did you
Mike McCarthy
say, Rob?
His play call, McCarthy's calling the plays, correct?
Yeah, he's calling the plays right now.
Really?
Nah, it's atrocious, bro. The last postseasons, the Q.
No. No. The last few this year he's taking over fully now. The last few seasons was all Kellen Moore. He didn't
yeah.
The only quarterback sneak, he called that play. He called that play himself. That's why I said I was pissed off because I found out he had a meet. He was in the huddle with Dak and Kellen Moore, and he called that play himself, and they thought it was gonna work. He called that, but It was all Kellen Moore the last few years, but the first 2 games has all been him. And it's gonna be him, I guess, for the whole entire season.
He's looking good.
But
They're 2-0. I wouldn't say he's looking great. He's looking good.
But yeah, something I want to talk about before we move on, because Soto did talk about the Chargers, but out of all the teams, I'm really concerned about them the most because they find themselves at 0-2, losing 2 games that went down the wire. You look at that Dolphins game where Justin Herbert had a chance to win the game. He had, in the final drive, he got sacked twice and had intentional grounding call. They lost that game against the Dolphins. Then you lose that game against the Tennessee Titans, a game you should have won in overtime. The Chargers are the only team to ever start 0-2 after scoring 58 points with 0 turnovers in 2 games. That's insane to me. And like y'all said, I think Brandon Staley is holding this team back. I don't think he's the guy as a defensive-minded head coach. I don't think he's a great leader. I don't think he's a great locker room leader for this team that has a lot of talent. I think he should have been fired after the 27-0 lead that they had against the Jacksonville Jaguars in the wildcard game that they blew. And he still has a job. I think there's just too much talent with Herbert, Austin Eckler, Keenan Allen, Mike Williams. You look at defense, Joey Bosa, Khalil Mack, J.C. Jackson, Derwin James. I think they're being held back right now. And, Rob, I want to say something, too, because a year or so ago they had the chance to do this. They should have went after Brian Dable instead of getting Brandon Staley. That was the biggest mistake for this franchise so far because he's holding them back.
That's my guy.
Yeah.
Brian Dable is a work of art.
Yeah, y'all got a good guy right there. Especially what do you say to Witten? What do you say to your defensive coordinator, Windmaker? What's his name?
Wink
Martin, yeah.
Yeah, I know he used to be the Ravens defense coordinator. What did he say to him during the Cardinals game?
And he was like, "Damn it, Wink," or something like that. I don't know how he was doing because he hasn't been blitzing like that this year. I don't know what his problem is, but he has not been blitzing like he did last year. And I don't think we even have any sacks the whole year. No sacks, no turnovers, nothing.
Where's Kayvon Thibodeau, man? He's coming up.
Let's talk about that. Let's talk about your rookie.
Bro, I don't know. I don't know. It's hard when I don't know. We need. I feel like the problem is on the other side with Ojulari being hurt all the damn time. He's hurt again, and he's not playing.
Come on, too, man. The man can't stay healthy, bro. He's good.
I mean,
I hope he gets healthy because he's great. I love to watch him, but that man can't stay healthy.
He just it sucks because like it's not even his fault that he can't stay healthy. All those injuries that he's had, including this one, were not his fault. You can't control someone rolling on your ankle like that. Like it's bad. Like if you saw the video of him getting his ankle rolled, like I thought it was going to be way worse than just a regular ankle sprain where he's going to be out a couple weeks. I thought he was done. You look at I think it was his ACL injury, bad luck. All of his injuries have been like just unfortunate, and it really sucks because he's a special player, and I truly think he's a at least the top 5 back in the league when he's fully healthy. There's no doubt in my mind he's a special guy, and he showed it last week. He sure fucking showed it, and I agree.
He hurt in the fourth quarter or third quarter?
Their offensive line is trash. I thought it would be improved this year. Evan Neal is not looking good so far. I don't know what's going on with him. But we're not going to have Andrew Thomas this Thursday. We're not going to have our offensive guard this Thursday. It's going to be bad. I don't doubt the game one bit. It's looking rough. There wasn't many options though to sign people. There really wasn't. I mean,
Orlando Brown was like the biggest option on the offensive line.
And we were fine. Like we just needed interior guys. Like we drafted that center who's going to be very good, John Michael Schmitz. But we need some guards, man. That's our problem. We need some guards. But Evan Neal is looking like some shit right now. I guess he's still young. For a guy that's like 6'8", like 360, I'd figured, he would at least be able to hold his own. But we'll see.
Man, some things to look forward to in the next few weeks. All right, so go move on to the final segment. All right, so week 3 is upon us for the NFL season thus far. We're going to share NFL week 3 game predictions. So I think there's a lot of easy games, a lot of easy teams that are going to pick up some wins. So we're just going to go over the key games, some key games for this week instead of going over all of them. Sorry, Rob. I got to say y'all because y'all in primetime football tomorrow night. Giants versus 49ers. What's your prediction for it?
I think we lose that game. I mean, I'm not. If we win, I would cry. Like I would just be at a loss for words. I wouldn't even know what to say because we no Saquon, no Andrew Thomas, Ben Bredesen's a starting guard. He's going to be out. We're missing an edge rusher, Ojulari. We're missing some key pieces that would at least contribute and make it somewhat closer. But, judging off of, well, it's hard to judge off a week 1 game, but, the Cowboys really embarrassed us. And, I can't see it being closer than a 10-point game. I feel like the spread on that is pretty accurate. I think we lose by 2 touchdowns, to be honest. 28-14 or 35-21 or something like that.
Right. Yeah. I would definitely say the Niners are taking this one. Rob, I want to ask you something real quick before I get to my point. Is Christian McCaffrey scoring tomorrow?
Yes.
Okay. Tom?
Yeah, he's scoring tomorrow.
Yeah, okay, that's going on my parlay. Cool. But yeah, I was actually only taking the Niners by 7 just to be safe, Rob. But if you're giving them 14, I think I'm going to take that. What is it, a 10-point spread right now?
Yeah.
I think they're giving them 10.
It's 10.
Yeah, that's generous. That's really generous considering what the Giants look like right now. And then I didn't know how many injuries you guys had. That's a lot.
Yeah,
so,
and
they're all have your starting running back, not have a couple of starting O linemen. You said.
Yeah, our left tackle, our best lineman, Andrew Thomas, is out.
I think your best chances of winning that game are winning the turnover game, but which definitely isn't going to happen. I think you guys could Dable's a defensive coordinator, so is Wink. Wink likes to blitz. I think they finally realized what their defense is made of. I think if you guys blitz that offense a little bit and run man press, you might have a chance. But, I mean, other than that, I don't see any chance of the Giants winning this game. So I think I'm going to take the 49ers for sure by about – I will give them 7 points, like I said, just to be safe.
Yeah. I got to go with the 49ers this one. They've been a great team over the last 2 weeks, and those were 2 road games that they won. Now they get to come home to San Francisco. Rob, I do feel bad for y'all because y'all are playing a team at the wrong time on primetime football. Their defensive pass rush is very talented with your guys' banged up offensive line. I think that's going to be a problem. I can see Nick Bosa at least getting 2 sacks. I think their defensive line is going to cause havoc, which will get you guys in a lot of 3-and-out situations offensively for them to take over and put points on the board. And now that Saquon ain't playing, it's going to be a long night, unfortunately, for Daniel Jones. Because I don't think it's going to be something similar to a shutout with what happened when y'all played the Cowboys. But in terms of being harassed, Daniel Jones, he might as well just turn on the Jets, put on his impression. He's going to have to run. But I'm going to take the 49ers in this one. All right. So the
real quick before that.
Go ahead. Go ahead, Soto.
I just want to ask you, Rob, even if the Giants were fully healthy, do you think that you would even beat the 49ers right now?
I still don't think so. I mean, I think they're the best team in football, like I said. I mean, yeah. I don't know. I feel like once we realize our potential and once everything starts to click, I think we are a better team than last year. We made the playoffs and won in the first round with literally some street players at receiver. Isaiah
Daniel Jones is playing backyard football, winning games. So.
Yeah.
He said, he was running. He's going to be running this week.
He had the best game of his life against the Vikings in the playoffs. Yeah. So he had over 300 yards passing. He had over 100 yards rushing. Like he was just balling in that game. So like I honestly think like I don't know if I wouldn't call him elite, obviously by no means, but like I feel like Daniel Jones could get them to where they want to go eventually. Like I really think that, and as long as he can keep cutting back on the turnovers, which Brian Dable will help him with. I'm sure Josh Allen misses Dable with his turnover problem, but no, I still don't think we would beat him. Although I think it would be a closer game because like Andrew Thomas is probably a top 3 left tackle in the game right now, and he's probably the biggest piece that we'll be missing that game besides Saquon, of course. But even so, like that defensive line is so stacked. It is so stacked, dude. We have to go from Jersey to San Francisco in 4 days. Well, actually,
Arizona.
No, they were in Arizona. I heard no, they stayed. They didn't even go back to Jersey. They stayed in. I saw a video on this. They stayed in Arizona. So never mind to that. So that's not a thing. I forget. Someone was saying that to me earlier. They have to travel all this distance and whatnot on a short schedule, but did see that they actually stayed in Arizona. So that's good, but it's not good.
Yeah, I guess that does make sense when you think about it because Giants, New York, Jersey, and the East Coast, and then San Fran and the West Coast. So it does make sense to stay in the West Coast. So I think that's a good strategy in terms of traveling, in terms of turnaround that fast by the Giants. I think they did a good job on that. Dang.
That's
That
crazy.
was cold.
23.
You can't be saying that.
All right, next game. About
Can't
two
say that.
teams that are looking to win their first game that y'all just talked about. Chargers versus Vikings. Who wins that game?
Ooh, I want this one.
I think
I want this one, Rob. Give me this one.
you go.
I think the Vikings take this one, and the only reason I want to say the Vikings take this one is because if you ask me if Kirk Cousins doesn't turn the ball over 5 times a game, every game he ever plays in, or throws the ball at the numbers, if the receivers are in between the hash marks, if he plays like Kirk Cousins, they'll never win a game. But if he can throw the ball to his 2 receivers, one which Jordan Addison just got drafted, he's phenomenal. If you ask me, phenomenal. And if you can get Justin Jefferson open, I mean, Tua just torched that defense with Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle. You have a 99 overall Madden player and a first-round draft pick who was one of the best receivers from one of the best quarterbacks in college football, who, as you can see in college, if you just give him the ball, he's going to make the plays. And I just think that if the Vikings didn't turn the ball over as much as they are, I think they could be a 2-0 team. So I don't see a 2-0 team in the Chargers, even because the Chargers don't have the turnovers. They just don't have the defense. I think that's why they're just truly losing their games. And the Vikings had 4 turnovers in week 1 and I think 3 in week 2, so it's or something like that. I had Kirk Cousins on my fantasy. He just fumbles the ball every game, so I know that. But I would take the Vikings in this only because if it comes out to a shootout game, I mean, I don't know who the Vikings have on defense, but
Nobody.
they're not giving up too many points.
Yeah.
I truly don't know who to take in this game.
Yeah.
Honestly, you guys, it's a mix-up, but just give me one. Give me the Vikings.
Yeah. I think it's good. I think it's going to be a shoot. Yeah, I think it's going to be a shootout, to be honest. I had the Chargers originally to get in a get right type of scenario. But now that I think about it, like they just can't stop anything. Stop the best receiver in football right now, and as well as Jordan Addison, who's an ascending player who I also really liked out of the draft. I think the Chargers are going to start looking elsewhere for their coaching position. Like you said, Tom, it sucks because they have the talent. They do have talent in that defense. They really do, and the Vikings really don't. I mean, besides who's the pass rusher they have? I can't remember what his name is.
Hunter. Shoot, what's his name? I know you talk about though, but he caused havoc against the Eagles too. He was getting to Jalen Hurts.
Daniil Hunter.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have him, and Harrison Smith is like 45 years old. But I guess he's okay. I don't know if Anthony Barr went back or not. I can't even remember if he did. But anyways, their defense does look improved, though. I mean, it looked improved against the Eagles. They created some turnovers. They made it interesting. They kept the Eagles in check for a little bit there. Ultimately, they showed that they were just simply a better team. But as far as the Chargers go, like, if they had the right scheme, their defense could be pretty good. I mean, I don't know what they're doing, but I think, I'm changing my answer to the Vikings too. Like, I think the Vikings will take this game just to save their season for now. If they don't, like I said, if they do lose this game against the Chargers, I think that Kirk Cousins on the move could be in the conversation soon. I know they have talent on the team, but I just think the Vikings will take this one. And Harrison Smith, I'm not
jumping again.
I never said he was a bad player. I never said that. I just said he was old. He is pretty old. He's getting slow. It's pretty hard on your body to play defensive back. Like, when you get that old, it's hard to keep up with these receivers. Like, even Richard Sherman said, I forget, he said, I forget what receiver it was, but he was like saying something on like a video or a podcast or something like that. He's like, yeah, this guy like literally made me quit football. Like, he like burnt me so bad.
Oh, Richard Sherman, it was Devontae Smith, I believe.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
it was
Devontae Smith.
Yeah, Devontae Smith made Sherman retire, literally. Like, it was crazy. Yeah, like, I mean, okay. I'm definitely putting respect on his name. I never said he was bad, but okay.
Harrison Smith is a
player. I do respect him. He's always been a dog. Like, I've always been a safety, always brought the power, always brought the hit stick to the position. But at this point in his career, man, he be getting cooked.
Yeah.
He's definitely not as quick as he used to be. And no one is when they're that old. It's hard. It's hard on your body. Like,
Pro Bowl is a popularity. No, Harrison Smith was getting in there when it mattered, though. I gotta say that. But yeah, he's not as good as a safety as he once was. Like Rob said, it is hard to keep up as a defensive back in the NFL and be in your prime. Past 7 to 8 years is pretty hard. I think that at that point, that's when everybody starts to decline, no matter if you play corner or safety.
It's like the Legion of Boom for Seattle. When all of them got old, that was one of the best secondaries you could ever have. Once they all got old, they split them up, and then look at them now. The only person that's even relevant is Richard Sherman, and that's only from reporting.
Yeah.
So,
I'm going in a different direction than you guys on this one. Give me the Chargers. I cannot see this team going 0-3. Now, the Vikings I can see going 0-3 because I said it last year. And that's why I was with you, Rob, when y'all beat the Vikings last year in the playoffs, because I knew all along they were frauds last year, going 13-4. They won 11 out of 13 games by one possession games, one score games. Being a 13-4 football team, that's overrated. That's frauds. They were exposed several times during the season when we beat them 40-3. Philly had a fun time with them early in the season, and then you lose to the Giants in the wild card to a 6 seed. So I know what the Vikings defense is. They really don't have anything special on defensively. I think Justin Herbert goes toe-to-toe with Kirk Cousins in a shootout, but I think it just goes Justin Herbert's way. The Vikings, I wanted to say this too, Soto. The Vikings defense, they give up 27 points per game. So you playing somebody like Herbert and the weapons he has, I think it's going to be a disaster. Give me the Chargers in this one. And what are you saying? I tell the truth about the Cowboys. Oh my gosh! All right.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. 27 a game is bad.
I mean, they hang in there. I mean, you saw in the first 2 weeks they hang in games and they were fighting back against Philly, but you're not going to beat anybody good giving up 27 points per game on the defensive side of the ball because shootouts is just you're not really having. I mean, having a shootout every week, you're not really having consistency on offense. You just got to have your quarterback sit back in the pocket, fire, take shots, try to get something going down the field late in ball games. That's why I think Rob, they do have it. The Jets do have a chance to get on the phone and call Kirk Cousins because
It's
they
gonna.
go. Let's say they go 3. Let's say they go 0-3. Or at some point they find themselves at 2-5, 2-6. At some point, the Jets are going to get fed up with Zach Wilson. They might be at 500 by the trade deadline. They call the Vikings. The Vikings just go ahead and trade Kirk Cousins because it'll be a 1-year rental. He's already supposed to be a free agent next year. They are going to have Aaron Rodgers back, the Jets. And I think that'd be a good 1-year rental. The Vikings would just go and say their goodbyes to Kirk Cousins and then just go draft a quarterback in the first round next year.
Mm-hmm.
You guys ever had a freeze-dried Skittle?
Huh?
You ever had a freeze-dried Skittle?
No.
Bro, best things ever. They like, watch this. It's a sour one. Bro, it's
I know
crazy.
they
It's
have
so
no
good.
flavor.
It tastes smack like a sour Skittle. I swear to God. It's insane. It's insane. Promotion, guys. Promotion. It's an ad. Nah, but Daly's on the hot seat for sure if they lose that game.
Yeah. But then
I mean, I don't think he lasts week 5 if they go 0-4.
But this is the thing. Can you really fire Brandon Staley? Because I think the next man up to be the interim coach for the rest of the year would be Kellen Moore. He just got there. Are you really ready to let Kellen Moore control the team he just got there to be an offensive coordinator? He'd be the next guy up.
Yeah.
If you want to fire him, you can. I think highly of Kellen Moore. I just didn't think it was going to last much longer with him in Dallas. I think he could be. He has the. I ain't saying he will be, but he has the potential to be as special of a play caller like Sean McVay or Kyle Shanahan. If he could find continuity in offense and not be pass happy when you're down by 10, like he did with us. But I think that's interesting though, because if you fire him, he's the next man up that will most likely take over that team.
What if Kellen Moore goes crazy with Justin Herbert?
He's supposed to be going crazy right now.
He is. He's still.
They don't have a defense.
They don't got no defense, but they barely run. Well, okay, I'll take that back. Austin Eckler is hurt. I forgot. I was about to say they barely ran the ball last week. But okay, I'll let it play out. But that Dolphins game, he was calling some good plays. I'll say that. But last week was kind of questionable. But all right, wait, hold up. Let's try to do it, bro. This is not a Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers. Brett Favre was on his last leg when he went to the Jets. He had nothing left. The Saints tore him up when he was with the Vikings. All right, next game. Bills versus Commanders. I think this is a good one.
What? Give me the Bills by like. Give me the
What?
Bills by. Okay, no. Come on, bro. Come on.
Give me a good one.
They played the Cardinals and the Broncos. I still think the Broncos are some frauds. I know Sean Payton's there, and I had hopes for them. I really did, but I feel at this point Russ might be what he is. I mean,
Josh Kane, what is going on?
I didn't even say nothing about the Bills. What are you saying?
Yeah, no, I think the Bills will take that game. I don't know, man. I think the Bills will win by a good, healthy margin, at least 10.
No way this man just said Commanders all the way Ben.
This
you
is
got some good shit today.
What did I even say about? All right, you know what? All right, hold on. So before I say something, I'm not a Bills hater, but Josh Allen does lead the league in turnovers since being drafted in 2018. I'll leave it at that.
It is a turnover machine. I'll give him that because he risky throws.
That he is.
Man, was talking
same dude week 1.
What did I say? I said something about the Bills, that's what I said. Josh Allen being a turnover machine and potentially not winning this division. Anything other than that, I ain't saying nothing. But go ahead, Soto.
I mean, you know me, I'm taking the Bills in this one, but I do want to see, like I said, what Sam Howell does in this game.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think the Bills' defense is that good. I think they have a solid defense. I don't think it's great.
Mm-hmm.
Von Miller's not there yet, so once he comes back, I think they'll be better, obviously. What's it called? I really don't understand why DeMar Hamlin's not playing. I mean, he's been a healthy scratch the last 2 weeks. I wanted to see him play. I thought that would be nice for the NFL. But I think that the Bills win this one by at least 10. And where's it at? Is it in Buffalo or in DC?
It's in DC. They're gonna be jumping in that.
That's a little different. I mean, it might be a little closer now that you say that. But
I'll give the Bills 6.
Yeah, that's a safe bet.
I'll give them 6.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I was about to say that about DeMar Hamlin. Their secondary is pretty healthy. DeMar Hamlin got playing time last year because of the injuries to Poyer and Hyde. I was gonna say that before. Somebody said that in the comments, but I think that's why he's been a healthy scratch, because when you have two good safeties like that, the secondary is already taken care of, and I guess that's why he's a healthy scratch.
A big factor in this game too, Tre'Davious White is back this week. Their number one corner. So
yeah,
he's going to make it hard for Sam Howell. Very hard.
Not only hard, but that's a good matchup between Terry McLaurin and Tre'Davious White. That's a good wide receiver corner matchup.
That's good.
I think that matchup might dictate the game, to be honest. If you can't get Terry McLaurin going, who's it going to turn to? Jahan Dotson is a good wide receiver.
Dog.
Oh yeah, he is.
Dog.
He's nice.
Sam is that.
Okay.
He's like Zay Flowers, bro.
Let's pump the brakes on Sam is that guy for now. I mean, it's been 2 weeks, man.
I'm starting to think Ben's a Commanders fan. I can't remember if he's a Commanders fan or not.
He's shown some good stuff. I will give you that, but it's too soon to call him that guy. It is too soon. That's what they're saying about Taylor Heineke after he first started playing, but he is not there anymore. So
wow.
Where is Taylor Heineke?
I think he's the back. Desmond Ritter's backup in Atlanta.
Falcons.
Yeah.
My man left DC. He was with the Freaks. That man loved partying.
3-0 is 3 games.
Are you talking about the Week 18 game last year?
Oh my God,
that was
it didn't matter.
That game doesn't matter. Come on, you can't.
I think the Cowboys just didn't. They didn't want to play that week. I think that week was a fluke, but he is 3-0 as a starter. This weekend though, I think this game can be competitive though. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh,
I'm with y'all. Give me the Bills, but I'm not sold on the Commanders yet. Like Rob said, they played the Cardinals, they played the Broncos, and the comments really gonna say the Cowboys play the Giants and Jets. Are you the Cardinals and Broncos? I'm not believing that.
That's worse. That's even easier matchups than
way worse. And they struggled to put away the Cardinals week 1. How was it a fluke? They was playing for a playoff seat. We were already locked in. We were 12-4 at that point.
Yeah, they were. That's not true.
All right, but back to what I was saying, they struggled week 1 against the Cardinals. Took them a while to put them away. Then they barely escaped that game against the Broncos. Now they did have a big 18-point comeback. They were down 21-3. They rallied all the way back. But if that Hail Mary play at the end of the game that Russell Wilson hit, and if they converted on 2, how is that game going to finish if that game was in overtime? I think the Broncos could have stole that game.
Yeah, me too.
But I think in terms of this weekend, I think the Bills are the more complete team. They will not give too many second chances to the Commanders. Like I just said, the Cardinals were actually up with them on week 1, and then the Broncos should have put them away having an 18-point lead. You can't make mistakes against the Buffalo Bills, a team that is one of the best in the league, at their best, I should say. They're not going to close. They're going to close the door on the Commanders. So they have a lot of 3-and-outs or some turnovers going on in this game. They're not going to be able to capitalize on the mistakes they make. So give me the Bills in this one. All right. I don't know. Okay, let me say this before. Who the heck has been making the Sunday night games? Now, week 1 was good. I mean, it was supposed to be good between Cowboys and Giants. Then you give us Tua versus Mac Jones. Now the Sunday night game this week, you give us Kenny Pickett versus porn star Jimmy Garoppolo. Who is in charge of making the Sunday night games? Who is in charge of this? This is highway robbery of a primetime slot. I mean, all right.
Who's next week, Tom? Who's next week?
Let me see. This is, I mean, I know when we played at 49ers week 5 that Sunday night, that's a valid game.
That's Sunday night?
Yeah, that game's Sunday night.
While we're on topic, let me touch on that real quick. Since he was saying that Sam Howell was 3-0 as a starter. Jimmy started, what, 6-0 as a starter? 7-0? He went on a run.
Oh, my gosh.
Went on a first starter.
Yo.
And look at –
Oh, go ahead, Rob. Go ahead, Rob. Sorry.
Look at Jimmy G now. I mean, it's. I feel like it's a matter of you don't really have film on these guys yet. And once you get film and once you break it down, once you figure them out, that's when you really find out who they are. Like, it's, you know, they don't know what's coming yet. I mean,
that's why Brock Purdy's that dude.
they very well could steal this game, you know, the Commanders, but I don't know. But anyways, what's the next game we gonna predict, Tom?
Yeah, it's the Steelers and Raiders, but we were next week for the Sunday night game was supposed to be Patrick Mahomes versus Aaron Rodgers. We were robbed of that game.
Oh God,
man, that would have been a classic. And then actually, let me say this real quick. When you actually think about it, Patrick Mahomes and Aaron Rodgers have never played against each other thus far. They've never played, because every time that when he was with Green Bay and they were supposed to play, it was either Aaron Rodgers was hurt or Patrick Mahomes was hurt. And the last time they were supposed to play, I think Aaron Rodgers had COVID when they played the Chiefs back in 2021. So I think that's still crazy to me. We never saw that quarterback matchup yet, but that's what we should have got. So next Sunday, again, a bad game. Chiefs and Jets, because Mahomes is he's gonna do his thing by then. He'll be warmed up then, hopefully. But yeah. Steelers versus Raiders. Who y'all got?
I got the Steelers winning that game. I mean, their defense, like I said earlier, they've always had a good defense. That's been their identity for as long as I've been alive.
Y'all better hop back on this live Monday night after we shock the world.
What the fuck?
They got some ballers in Pittsburgh on the defensive side. You know, they got Minka in the back end. They got TJ Watt, of course. And someone that does not get enough credit is Alex Highsmith. He had a phenomenal game last week. He had that pick six, and he forced that fumble that Watt scooped and scored to win the game against Cleveland, who is honestly a pretty damn good team. So I think they're going to take care of business against the Raiders. I mean, obviously, I'll say this every week until something happens, until I'm proved wrong or he's benched. Kenny Pickett is not that guy. But the Raiders are also not a good team. Their defense is not good. Chandler Jones is not even going to play for a while. He's going on the non-football injury list, who's probably one of the best players they have on defense. So I think the Steelers win by at least a touchdown.
Who you got, Soto?
Taking the Raiders, man. I don't want to take the Steelers. I can't take the Steelers. Like Rob said, I don't believe in Kenny Pickett. 75, maybe 80 of his passing yards the other night were from a blown coverage. I guess it was a good ball to George Pickens, but that cornerback should have stayed inside on a slant route and got beat, and then beat for 80 yards, something like that. And that was a good play for them, but that was their only pretty much exciting play for me that game. I don't think the Steelers' offense is explosive. Their defense will win the game if
Mm.
Interesting.
Man, this is a toss-up, to be honest. But give me the Steelers. I don't think. Oh no, we heard you.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I'm taking the Raiders.
Yeah, give me the Steelers. This not gonna be a good. I mean, it's gonna be competitive, but give me the Steelers. I think that this. I don't think that Josh McDaniel is the guy for the Raiders. I think that they should get somebody else. I think they should get him out of Vegas very soon. I'm not high on this Raiders team at all. Their defense has nothing. All they really have is Max Crosby. They still got Marcus. They got Marcus Peters, but
Don't even. No.
yeah, I'm not gonna. That's Soto's boys. So I'm gonna just pump it.
The yard.
He ain't like he used to be. But they got Marcus Peters. Chandler Jones not being there. What'd you say, Soto?
I always have respect for Marcus Peters. He stopped on the Titans logo.
Hey, Rob, you know what I was about to say about Marcus Peters.
What?
I was about to say nothing good, but anyway, they got holes everywhere on the defensive side. I mean, their pass rush is good when Chandler Jones and Max Crosby are there, but linebacker, they got holes. Cornerback, safety, they got holes. I don't see this team doing nothing at all this year. I don't even know who thought it was a good idea to replace Derek Carr with Jimmy Garoppolo. In my opinion, that was a downgrade.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, that's what I'm excited to see when Kamara comes back into the Saints offense and see what Derek Carr can somewhat. Because Olave and Mike Thomas didn't look too shabby the other night.
That's a good duo. I'll tell you what, that's a good freaking duo. I like their receiver room. I do. I think Derek Carr.
You got the dude, what's his name? Rashid, whatever.
Rashid Shaheed.
Yeah, he's not bad at all either. He's an exciting player to watch.
I don't think Derek Carr gets enough credit, man. I don't think he's bad at all. I really think, when he was on the Raiders, their defense was still lacking. They still had holes pretty much.
They also never had coaching in Oakland and Las Vegas when he was there.
I mean, he doesn't get enough. I think he's a good quarterback, and in the right system, on the right team, I feel like he could take him somewhere.
Who's the coach for the Saints right now?
Dennis Allen. I don't know why.
I don't know who.
Yeah, so it isn't the best improvement for Derek Carr, but I guess it's better than whatever he had going on in Vegas.
He at least has a defense now.
Yeah. Actually, the Saints' defense isn't bad. You still got Demario Davis. Isn't Tyrann Mathieu there again?
Yeah, he's there.
He's there again. So, I mean, you got a linebacker, you got a safety right there that can start both levels of the defense. So, like I said, Rob, I'm excited to see what they can do with Kamara when he gets back. Because, like you said, Derek Carr never got enough credit. He had Josh Jacobs, and Josh Jacobs was a number one running back in 1 year and top 5 in his previous, 2 or 3. So, I mean, if you're a good running back, it obviously balances off of what your quarterback can do, I believe. Other than unless you're in the Ravens system, it's just to run the ball and then somehow gain yards. But I think Jimmy G is not a good quarterback, like you said, for them. I think Derek Carr had that. So I think I hate you guys, but I'm changing my pick to the Steelers.
Don't say you hate us. You just hate that. You just hate the Steelers.
Yeah, that's my second time y'all have influenced me.
But yeah, another reason why I was really high on Kenny Pickett this year. I really thought he'd be something. He would turn his game around because he did it towards the end of the season in terms of passing touchdowns and interception ratio. But he's looked bad in the first 2 weeks, and I will say this about the Steelers: they can't rely on that defense to win the game forever. At some point, that offense has to do something. I mean, George Pickens is there, but Kenny Pickett hasn't looked efficient as the quarterback for that Pittsburgh Steelers team. Let me say this. I say this with all due respect. Our playing days are over with football. I guarantee you, if you line me, Rob, or you, Soto, in the backfield for the Pittsburgh Steelers, we could be more explosive than what Najee Harris has been. That man is – I swear he runs at least miles per hour every time he touches the ball.
bro, he is
Look,
so
that
bad.
the runs he had the other night, I'm not even giving him the credit for either of them 2 yards because they were both busted runs, and he just ran the other side of the field where no defenders were. Like, that's going to happen. If he doesn't get them 2 runs, he's sitting at 30 yards max. Like, come on, bro. That was a Cam Akers.
Are
He's
you
looking
are
like
you
Cam
talking about,
Akers.
are you talking about that play where he cut to the left and then bounced outside back to the right
Yes,
and
they get
ran out
like
of
40 yards.
bro? He was running at 5 miles per hour, yo.
Yeah,
Somebody could have caught
I don't
him.
know how nobody got him. It was. I just don't understand. So I'm like you said, if that play doesn't happen, what the heck are they doing with that man? I mean, they got what's his name? I
They should
live bet.
Warren?
I live bet the Jalen Warren. I
Yeah.
missed my bet by 2 yards, dude. He needed 22 rushing yards. He only had 20. But yeah, I mean that's what I'm saying. I was so much confident in them not even playing Najee to put Jalen Warren in that I put a bet in on the backup running back. So there's my answer to what you just talked about. What are they doing with Najee? I don't understand.
It's not.
Then
It's Najee. You gotta do something as a running back. He didn't do that at Alabama. Now I feel like he lost some explosiveness in that backfield.
but it's like once Deontay Johnson comes back to that team, you think he's going to stay there? Kenny Pickett's still playing the way he does? No, they're going to lose their number one receiver.
Yeah, that's
So
true.
I think if that quarterback play doesn't improve there, I mean, who do you have to play after him? You got Mitch Trubisky or Mason Rudolph, who gets hit in the head with helmets.
Oh,
So
that's bad, both of them.
yeah, so you don't really have much of an improvement. You can't. There's nobody better that's going to be on the trading block to pick up. I think so. The Steelers, me personally, they might win this one, but they're not going to the playoffs this year.
Yeah.
Not if Kenny Pickett's their quarterback. They got Trubisky might be better than him.
I don't know,
Hey,
man.
Trubisky has been for years.
But Kenny Pickett is absolute buns, and Rudolph.
He
He's
can't improve though.
I
I feel like he should be getting nervous, or he's not reading defenses the right way he's supposed to.
Who?
But he scored a game-winning touchdown versus your dang. Yo, but hold on. I gotta say though, Najee should be way more explosive though. You can't be. You look like you run. As soon as he touches the ball, it's literally seems like the game for a few seconds turns in slow motion because he is not getting nowhere when he touches the. When you touch the ball, you're supposed to get outside, make a play. He ain't doing nothing. I'm telling you. Hey, give us Pat. All right, we gonna show up in Pittsburgh to practice tomorrow.
Soto, 50 rushing yards in either game.
I know San Francisco completely blew him up week 1.
Well,
let me look at his stats Monday night. I really don't remember him like having like a significant play.
He's not in the offense whatsoever. Like even if when he's in the game and he gets the touch, it doesn't go anywhere. So
I do think though their offensive coordinator Matt Canada doesn't know what he's doing.
Yeah, I think
I don't know what he's. I don't think he knows what he's doing.
I think if you watch their offense, like actually thoroughly watch them, they're like the old Ravens, bro. They can't get receivers open.
Last Monday night, 10 carries for 43 yards, average 4.3 yards per carry. I don't even remember him getting 4 yards a pop every time he touched the ball, but
it wasn't. It was that 140-yard run that made that average. For real.
Yeah, I agree. Matt Canada's offensive scheme is bad. We'll move on to the Monday night game. There's 2 Monday night games next week. Bucks versus Eagles. Who y'all got?
Eagles.
2 Monday night games again.
Eagles by 2 touchdowns. Eagles are gonna show. I mean, the Bucks are off to a better start than I imagined, especially having Baker Mayfield. He hasn't looked bad, to be honest. He
looked this game up.
Have good a better offense now with Tampa Bay than he did last year. But I mean, no, the Eagles are gonna stomp them. I think the Eagles are gonna run away with that game. They might hang with them at first a little bit, maybe, but nah. I don't think the Bucks have a chance there.
I think the Eagles. Who was it? I think it was the Bucks D lineman that just went out for the year, right? Shaq Lawson or something.
He went out for the year.
Yeah. He plays for the Bucks, right?
Yeah.
So that's their best interior defender right there. Slash, I guess what's it? Linebacker. He's an interior defender, right? Interior D lineman, edge rusher, something like that. Yeah. I mean, he just went out for the season with a foot surgery, so off the rip right there. But I don't see them being as strong and powerful with the offense against, I guess, the Eagles' mediocre defense. Even though if you did look this up, because like I said, I looked this up, Baker is first in the NFL in third down completion percentage. He's at 87%. He's completed 83% of their third downs at an 87% pass completion rate. So if he can do that on third down against the Eagles offense, against that Eagles defense, they can honestly upset the Eagles. I think that the Eagles have shown that they're not at their full potential yet. So if the Bucs can catch them again in another week where they're not at their full potential, the Bucs are 2-0. I'm not gonna knock them. You know what I'm saying? They're 2-0.
Yeah, that's true.
And if you ask me, third down play in any football game is one of the biggest things in the game. And if Baker can continue to do that, they can have a shot at actually winning that division, I think.
That's wide open. The NFC South is wide open. 8-9 won you the division in a game. Won you that game. That won you division and it let you host a playoff game. And
that was terrible.
You saw what happened to the Bucs.
I would hate to see Baker Mayfield host a playoff game.
That was
You know how bad that would be?
Did he? Oh, no, he didn't host. I was about to say the game that he did when he didn't host
they
it.
played in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, never mind.
Who's
the
other Monday night game? Oh, you got to get your pick in.
I think this can be a competitive game because, like y'all said, the Eagles aren't at their best. I'm going to go with the Eagles in this one, but I do agree with Rob. I am honestly shocked that Baker Mayfield has this team at 2-0, and he's doing some work. And I think he's trying to prove that he's not going to be those quarterbacks to become bounce-arounds, one-year guys. I think Baker Mayfield's trying to stay the quarterback one of this franchise for a few more years. So he's off to a good start. They got playmakers there. It's not like this roster is bad, but they just had a bad season last year, even with the GOAT Tom Brady there. But, yeah, I like the Eagles here. I think this will be the game where the Eagles start to really figure out their rhythm on offense. They've scored 25 and then over 30 the first few weeks of football, but I think this is the game where they really put it together. They really haven't played their best football yet this year, but I think it could be on full display. What the heck? I think it could be on full display Monday night against the Bucs. So give me the Eagles. This man was on fire.
For real.
All right. Then we got our final game, which will be the Bengals and the Rams. Who y'all got in this one?
I'm taking the Rams even if Joe Burrow plays. I hate to say it, but like I said, the Bengals aren't the same team as they are if Joe Burrow is healthy, and he's not healthy. And he just said in the interview yesterday after practice that he's still sore. He didn't fully practice. He's still sore. So, again, he's not fully healthy. And, Stafford's starting to figure out what he has. And Cooper Kupp may be coming back this week, if not next week. Well, no, he's not coming back this week. He's on the IR for 4 weeks, right?
Yeah.
So he's not in. But Stafford's figuring it out. You have a rookie in Puka Nacua. The other dude, Tutu, he's not a rookie, but he hasn't really played that much. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, hold on. Before you go on, can I just ask y'all one question? I say this so respectfully. Does those two wide receivers not sound like Pokemon names that you can find?
Yes.
All right, go ahead. Because I was saying that over the last few, okay, he's nice, but why is his nickname? This reminds me I could be in a Nintendo Switch or a Nintendo DSi.
Nickname, man. My man's real name is Puka Nacua.
That sounds like a Pokemon. That sounds like a Pokemon name.
Yeah, he's a dog.
Yeah, I that's what I said. I said respect. He's been balling out, but man, does that sound like a wild Pokemon that you could catch with a master ball?
He has 25 receptions in 2 games.
I think isn't he on pace? If he keeps this up, I mean, he's going to be the number 2 once Cooper Kupp comes back. But they said if he kept this up, he would be on pace to have 2,000 receiving yards.
I mean, I wouldn't doubt it, man. He literally he has the most catches of any rookie ever first 2 games, and he came from the 5th round. And like, obviously, it's a testament to having a good quarterback in Stafford. But I mean, for my prediction, I mean, oh man, it can go either way. It just depends on Burrow, man. It really does. Because like, if Burrow plays, like, I feel like they have to win that game. Like, I don't know, man. He just if they lose that game, it's going to be rough for the Bengals. I can't decide. I mean, let's see if they play Joe Burrow, if he ends up rolling out, I think they eke out a victory by like 3 points. But if he doesn't play, I'm going to say the Rams win by like 10 points because they hung around with a very good team last week. They were hanging with the 49ers. Like, they were looking pretty damn good. So, it's just one of those things where, like, it just depends on if Burrow plays. So, we'll see.
Man, this is tough. I just want to throw in here, too, that this game is in Cincinnati, not in L.A. That's why I'm kind of contemplating who I want to pick. You know what? I'm going with the Rams to win this one. I'm going with Soto. Joe Burrow is not healthy, and it's unfortunate because you have, in my opinion, the second best quarterback in the league that they're not 100%. They find themselves at 0-2. Now, they were 0-2 when they went to the AFC Championship last year, but being 0-2 at this point, the offense looks bad. They're not being very productive at all. Joe Burrow does not look like himself. You're going in this game not 100% with a potentially, let me knock on wood, potentially to injure yourself even more. If I was the Bengals, I would go ahead and sit him out this game. That's what I would do, even though you're going into an 0-2 situation, potentially 0-3. I want to risk the injury more. But the parlays hit. But I think that this young Rams team could get it done. I think that Kareem Williams, their running back, this is gonna be his first game.
Respect on his name, Tom.
What?
His name is Kyron.
Oh, sorry, Kyron Williams.
He's on your team.
Huh?
He's on your team.
I know, man. I just scooped him because I knew Cam Akers was about to get traded. I really didn't know much about him until last week. I ain't gonna lie, but I think he can be the game plan can go through him running the ball. You set up the run to set up the pass. I think Matthew Stafford, these young receivers, can get a W against a team that's struggling offensively with their franchise quarterback not being 100%. And then their defense, they got torched against the Ravens last week. Now, it was a close game, but they were moving the ball effectively on the Bengals. I think that could be trouble with this Rams team that went into Seattle, had their way against the Seahawks, and then just only lost by 7, which I think there were some betting purposes in there to cover the spread, which it really should have been 30-20, but they kicked the field goal. The spread is complete for the Rams to be on there by 7. But I think the Rams can pull this off based on what I saw the first 2 weeks of football. Give me the Rams.
I was on mute that whole time.
Oh, what did you say? No, yeah, we didn't hear you.
You can hear me say Puka Nakua?
Yeah.
Oh, all right, cool.
Now we can hear you say it. But, yeah, give me the Rams in this one. Well, yeah. I see comments about the betting. We could get some segments going underway about that soon. So yeah, but yeah,
chop it up.
Yeah, go ahead.
I haven't seen that man in a minute. My fault. Nah, go ahead, Tom.
But yeah, this was a fun episode. We're gonna go ahead and close it out. The comment section really did a good job back-to-back weeks asking me and Rob good questions last week, and then y'all were wilding in the comments this week. So all the people
I'm back next week
live. Oh, go ahead, Soto.
I'm back next week, guys. Just to let y'all know.
All right, we can do it again next week. That's
back.
fine with me. But yeah, good job by you guys. Rob and Soto, y'all brought the energy. But yeah, good episode overall, and the comments were pretty fun to watch. There's some comment wars going on also, but overall, good episode.
Yes, sir.
But that's all the time we have for you guys tonight. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for listening. This is your host, Thomas Tyree, Rob Cerasuolo, and Cameron Soto signing off. And we'll see you guys on next week's episode. Thank you guys for watching and listening.
Here.
All right, guys.